Okay, hello and welcome to this rather important video that you all need to watch. Hopefully you do. This is going to be basically a video about how I got into my interests and where I'm going. All right. So I want to first talk about how I got into what I do. Meaning the Pine Barrens, elevators, transportation. And when I was younger, I just want to say that I was vastly different. When I was younger, say in my 20s, I was really into going to the city a lot. And that's how I started getting into the trains and stuff, and the buses and things like that. And as time moved on, things changed, particularly after September 11th, and I just wasn't interested in going to the city as much anymore. And I decided I got more into going into the Pine Barrens and nature and photography, especially once digital photography happened. I always wanted to get into photography, but with film and the pain in the neck with developing, I never really wanted to deal with that. Once digital came out, that opened up a whole new world for me. And so that's how I got into photography. That's how I got into the nature photography, going to the Pine Barrens, and less of the city. However, I was still into elevators and trains at the same time. I still am to some extent, but because of September 11th and because of the very uptight attitudes here in New York, your city may be different. Filming elevators is rough. People have gotten harassed, they've gotten kicked out, they've gotten looked down upon, particularly by these, white-collar professionals who have to work in a lot of the buildings that we like to film in. I really stopped doing the elevator filming. And as far as how I got into doing the news and talking about all these different subjects, I don't know. I guess it was just a way of venting and a way of just, trying to, make a constructive product of my frustrations about life in general. All right, and but this is all going to change now. All right, it's been a very, very rough couple of past years for me here, as my town has pretty much disintegrated into a ghetto. I mean. It's been awful lately. I mean, dead town, and they're just hanging out drunk in the middle of town, and and it's. I've already spoken with the police department, and they're well aware of the issues, and they admitted Westbury is going down the tubes. And here's the major announcement: I am getting out of Westbury very soon. I'm going to stay on Long Island, but I'm not going to get into specifics about where I'm going. Don't worry, it's not going to be the South Shore, because I just don't want to be on the South Shore. A lot of people have commented, "Oh, you envy these people in Babylon. You envy them in Belmore." I don't envy them. I wouldn't want to be there for several reasons. All right, yeah, their train line is the boutique train line, but it doesn't get you to the Pine Barrens very easily. All right, Pine Barrens are in the middle of the island, not on the South Shore. So I like being on the main line because that gets me to the Pine Barrens easy, like Deer Park. All right. Number two, flooding. With hurricanes, if you're living on the South Shore, tropical storms, you got to worry about that. That's not something I need to worry about. All right. And then three, just the way people are over there. They're just very. I'm not going to say that everybody's like that, but seem to be very arrogant. They've got a little. It's almost like. Oh, I don't want to use this phrase, and please do not take it the wrong way. And I know some people will anyway, because it doesn't describe everybody. But it seems like there is a predominance on the South Shore of what I call white trash with a little bit of money, and they just very arrogant about it. Because I've been on the North Shore plenty of times, and I've been in rich areas on the North Shore. And I find that people don't annoy me the same way on the South Shore. It seems like the people on the North Shore have a little more class. Maybe that's because they're more educated. Whereas the South Shore is more finance people, more Wall Street, and the North Shore is more doctors. I don't know. This is pure generalization. But the good news is, yes, I'm getting out really soon, and therefore I have to focus on packing and arranging the move. Let me tell you, it's not a moment too soon that I'm getting out of Westbury. But uh, I decided it's time for change in the way this channel is basically the format of this channel. Now, I've been trying to move away from these prickly subjects, but it's been difficult because of what I deal with. But now that I'm not going to be dealing with it anymore, I really want to stop talking about prickly subjects because they're negative. They seem to bring out the haters, and let me tell you, the haters, they are just a very disturbed group of people who have nothing better to do than downvote videos and make nasty comments and harass me over just expressing my opinion. And I certainly don't mean to offend anyone when I've done this whole thing. I never meant to offend anyone. It's just a way of getting this stuff off my chest and being an alternative news source, because I'm disgusted with what I see on TV here in the local news, and the news doesn't really talk about what's really important, and therefore that's why I decided to do the Piney News. But the Piney News, well, I'm not going to say it's going to stop, but there's going to be a slowdown of product into the Piney News, and there will be no more prickly subject discussions. So, what I want to talk about here is mainly just the Pine Barrens. We're still going to talk about transportation. We're still going to. What's going to change here is you're not going to see me getting in front of the camera like this anymore. The videos that we're going to produce, that I'm going to produce, I shouldn't say we, but I have a habit of doing that. The videos that I'm going to do are just going to focus on showing you the beautiful scenery of the Pine Barrens and nature in general on Long Island, and and that's what I want to do. And I also want to show you, buses, trains. I'll still do that. I'll still talk about public transportation. I'm still going to show you the epic fails on the Long Island Railroad and Nice Bus and all that stuff. But me going here, setting up the camera, talking to you like this, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. All right, because I got way too many other things, better things in a way to do with my time, and and while I feel that this has helped me, and help definitely. I used to be extremely shy. That's another thing. When I was younger, I was very shy. I was afraid. I was terrified of public speaking. But since I got involved in this whole YouTube thing, it's turned me into a lot more of an extrovert, and I'm not afraid to speak in front of people anymore like I used to. I'm not afraid to talk to people, and I used to be ridiculously shy. When it comes to girls, I still am ridiculously shy, okay? But when it comes to this other stuff, I've definitely come out of my shell quite a bit. But I think I've done everything I can do here regarding these subjects, and informing everybody about them. People know about this stuff now. And the other day I met one of my somebody who watches my videos actually saw me at a train station, and he really appreciated what I did, and it means a lot. It really does mean a lot when people appreciate what I do here. And I'm still going to be talking about transportation on Long Island. I'm still going to be showing this stuff to you. I'm still going to be, showing you the Pine Barrens and talking about the threats to the Pine Barrens, like all these development projects. I'm still going to be doing that, but what I'm not going to be doing is talking about, wealth inequality, these so-called prickly subjects, which I've been trying to move away from, and I have, but I want to completely tell you I'm not going to be doing it anymore. All right, people, seem to take this stuff the wrong way, and I try my best to try to be as fair and non-biased as possible when it comes to this, and just basically all these years I've been doing this, I've just been showing you the view of Long Island through my eyes. Everybody has a different view of Long Island. Some people may have a different view completely of Long Island. Everybody has their own view of life, and I've just been showing it through my eyes, through the eyes of somebody with a mental disability, somebody who has to who cannot be like everybody else, and somebody who's been trying to live in a better place that they feel safe in, that they have access to transportation, and finally it looks like it's very close to happening. And so it's not a moment too soon. That's all I can tell you. And I'm just, appreciative of, I've never made it seem like I'm ungrateful for anything. This is another thing the haters like to go after me on. They make it seem like, oh, I'm ungrateful, for everything I get, the services and the housing and all. I'm very grateful for it. And I'll say that again and again and again, and I express my gratitude toward all these programs that are out there to help the mentally disabled, whether it be at the federal level or the state level or the local level. I'm very appreciative and very, grateful for all the help and all these programs. But when something is unfair, it doesn't mean I'm going to be quiet about it, and that's why I've been struggling all these years, putting this stuff up there in hopes that maybe it would get picked up by larger media sources, whether it be on the, housing discrimination, or whether it be on the nice bus situation, especially the nice bus situation. And it remains extremely frustrating, and like I said, I'm still going to talk about the nice bus situation. I'm still going to show you when there's a nice bus screw up. I'm going to still show you that. If there's cuts, I'm still going to show you that. If there's service changes, I'm still going to show you that. And another thing that I'm going to still follow is the weather, all right? Because we are in the midst of climate change here, and I'm still going to follow that. So other people, unfortunately, like a friend of mine, he's having to slow down his channel because of changes in his life. And it certainly is not, just because of the haters, but, having to deal with people have a right to, make constructive criticism, and I have no problem with that. But once you start calling people's names, being disrespectful, it just becomes more of a headache than it's worth. And it's just one particular bit of stress that I just don't want to deal with anymore as much. So, in conclusion, I wish my friend luck in his new journey in life, and I think that things are going to, once I move to a better place, I think it's going to change me much for the better. But there are so many things to do. And I just want to talk more about nature and the stuff I really enjoy showing you. I want to show you more of nature. And I know that the Pine Barrens videos don't get the views. I'm sorry if the prickly subjects seem to get the most views. I don't really care, because I have nothing to gain off this. I've just been doing this just to, show you, again, what life is like through my eyes. Instead of what you put on the TV and you see the life, and basically the TV shows you life through the rich people's eyes. And I've been showing you life from my eyes, all right? And there needs to be more videos on YouTube of real life, not just fake reality TV crap that much of YouTube has become, unfortunately. But, I'm still going to do videos, maybe not as much, but I'm still going to talk about the weather. So here's what I'm just going to run it down one more time for you. Still going to be showing you the Pine Barrens. I want to be showing you more of the Pine Barrens. I want to show you more of nature. I want to show you more of maybe even transportation. Maybe elevators, probably not, but I'm going to still leave that as a possibility. Show you the weather, talk about the weather when we have weather things going on, and talk about, here's like I'm leaving something out, buses, yeah. So, we'll still talk about this stuff, still going to show it to you. I have a bus ride today that I'm going to put up for you, I still love these things, but I want to talk more about what I love instead of what I hate, what I dislike, and the last thing that I want to point out to you is some people have been saying, I know a lot of my videos are not filmed in HD. I've explained to you why. Is because this camera that I have, eventually maybe I'll get a new one, but this camera has a 10-minute limit, a 1 gigabyte file limit on this camera for Canon, for the newer, older Canons. The newer ones do away with that. Maybe when I get a new one, it'll be a different story. And I figure, hey, to me, it's a waste of space if you're just taking a video like this. Hey, why do you need HD? I'm just talking to you sitting in front of the camera. I don't see why you need HD for that. I'd rather save the HD for Pine Barrens and scenery, and maybe some transportation, you know, but anything, and maybe some weather stuff. But you know, I want to just, I think it's time to, you know, move on from all this stuff. You know, I'm going to be going to a better place, and I want to kind of focus on better things now. And for those out there that are struggling in similar or even worse situations, don't ever lose hope. Keep fighting. Don't, you know, if people tell you you can't get what you need or whatever, just don't take no for an answer, all right? Because people do need to stand up when they see things that are unfair, all right? And I've been doing that for many years, all right? And in some ways I'll continue to do it, but just not as much. So I want to thank you for watching, and please continue to stay tuned. I'm sorry if people aren't into the Pine Barrens videos. It's my passion. I love the Pine Barrens. It's the best place on earth. And, you know, this channel's name is called PinePowerLI, all right? So we've got to focus on what the name of this channel is all about, and that's the Pines. So take care. Thank you for watching. And, of course, I'll keep you posted on any weather information that continues to go on. I'll probably have a Jose update for you later. Take care.